When Bullseye holds New York City in the grips of terror, will Elektra be able to rise to the occasion as Daredevil to stop him? Well, let's hop into the pages of Daredevil issue number 32 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue left off, Bullseye had managed to give his captor, the Kingpin, the slip, and now, spurred on by illusions of actual angels, is going around shooting people in New York. 39 people are already dead and the city is on absolute lockdown. This extends to Mayor Wilson Fisk as well. No one actually knows what Bullseye wants this time around, and Fisk can't be certain that Bullseye isn't gunning for him too. We actually get a very interesting little corner turn in the relationship between Kingpin and Typhoid Mary. Being the head of security, it should be her job to get out there and look for Bullseye, but Fisk wants her to stay, and she makes him say that. Wow, is Wilson actually opening his heart in a romantic way to a woman? That's pretty huge. Also, Typhoid Mary better be as tough as they say, considering the horrible fates that are usually waiting for Fisk's lovers. Now, this Bullseye business is so big, even Spider-Man and the rest of the superhero community are on the case. Peter actually has his first eye-to-eye meeting with Elektra ever since she took up the mantle of Daredevil. Their meeting is actually pretty funny because Peter loudly declares, "Ah yes, so you really are Elektra under there," only for her to go, "Yeah dude, I wasn't hiding it." Spider-Man questions also whether or not Elektra will do the right thing when it comes to dealing with Bullseye. After all, there's a lot of really bad blood between those two, and will she make the same choice that Matt would make in that situation? Speaking of Matt, he's still in solitary confinement right now, using his super hearing to try and figure out what exactly the warden of this place has planned for him, and also why the FBI have been looking into him and a bunch of dead prisoners as of recently. Despite what Matt originally believed, the prisoners aren't actually dying on work assignments, they're dying somewhere deep within the prison itself at a place called Reset. I wonder if that's short for recidivism. If Daredevil's gonna crack this case wide open for the FBI, though, he's going to have to get out of his cell, which will be easy enough as the warden has sent 4 guards to try and kill him. We get a truly excellent little close quarters fight scene wherein Daredevil deftly takes their batons away from the guards and then beats the living crap out of them with them. Now, Matt's not the only one making moves either. On the outside, his brother Mike and partner Butchie finally make their move on Hammerhead. And hey, wouldn't you know it, despite being shown as a schlub up until now, Butchie can actually really handle himself in a fight. He graciously dodges an attack from Hammerhead before assaulting his throat and eyes, the 2 parts of his anatomy that don't have amazing super metal attached to them. This actually freaks Mike out, as he's never seen this side of his friend before. Now, on the subject of seeing other sides of people, a defeated and dejected Elektra returns home. Bullseye's kill count continues to rise, and she is still nowhere close to tracking him down. It's here that she sees Alice, the young girl that she had saved and was mentoring, has actually returned back. They had left on not so great terms, what with the subject of murder being broached. Alice realizes that Elektra really was just trying to help her in her own weird, messed up, traumatic kind of way. And while the professional lady assassin still isn't exactly great on the whole feelings thing, she does also try and have something of an epiphany, saying, "Alice, you're so weak. But I am also weak. We are all the grand totals of our weaknesses and strengths. Am I doing this right? I'm not used to doing this." Alice may not have been the on-the-street sidekick that Elektra was looking for, but she proves to be quite the man in the chair. She's actually managed to break down all of these Bullseye shootings, and ultimately come to the conclusion that one shooter could not have pulled off all of these crimes on their own. What follows is actually a super cool, pulse-pounding, incredibly creative little finale wherein we see on one side Daredevil fighting his way deeper into the prison, and on the other, Elektra going to challenge Bullseye. Again, Elektra's not 100% sure if she's going to kill him or not. She knows what Matt would do. She even knows that at the end of the day, this is probably the biggest heroic test of character she's been served up, but this is Bullseye we're talking about after all, a test that she would happily fail. Now, in the bowels of the prison, Matt ends up discovering some sort of strange laboratory. The doctors do everything in their power to scrub everything that they had been gathering. And once Daredevil starts mixing it up with the guards, something ends up happening and the prison ends up, well, exploding. And as far as the fight with Bullseye goes, Elektra thinks she may finally have the upper hand on this guy. Maybe he was using hand magic, maybe there was some sort of teleportation to explain how he was in multiple places at once. Only the truth actually ends up being much more horrifying than any of those theories. There seems to be more than one Bullseye now, a whole Bullseye legion if if you will, as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Daredevil issue number 32, everybody, and while I probably sound like a broken record at this point, it was a real powerhouse of an issue. We get so much amazing character development packed into such a small amount of pages. Zdarsky really excels at writing conflicted people. Elektra isn't sure if she can do what's right and not kill Bullseye. Fisk is unsure about opening his heart again, and Matt just seems to be unsure about everything he's doing right now, but he knows he can't just stand by and watch injustice happen, not when he has something he can do about it. I'm fascinated by this Bullseye revelation too. I feel that, as a character, he's had such peaks and valleys of being the scariest thing to being just another mook in a suit. And I mean, making more of one scary thing is certainly a direction to go, and that's the way they're going with it. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one another very strong 9 out of 10. Daredevil continues to be required reading whenever it comes out, and if you're not at this point, I just feel sorry for you.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.